Good afternoon, and welcome to another demoralizing episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your decrepit and disillusioned host, Voice of Doom. Alright. I didn't know what I wanted to name this diatribe. A few thoughts came to mind. I was going to name it Magnificent Desolation, after something that was said on the moon by the second man to walk on it, as far as we know. And I thought maybe Resentment and Acrimony might be a better title, because no matter what happens over the next week, the genie's been let loose and you're not going to stuff him back in the bottle. And if this cat starts bothering me, I'm going to get very angry. So, I was going to talk about more of my trip. Not really much more. I was curious. I know I saw a video years ago about why the West Coast, Northern California, and Southern Oregon, or most of the West Coast of Oregon, is empty. And I was thinking about that when I was driving home from Seattle, because you can take the 5 quite a ways, but even the 5 gets a little lonely. And then you have to switch to another route to go to Susanville and down to Carson City. And it's desolate. And it's nerve-wracking, because although my car is good, I see other cars that are nicer than mine on the side of the road that are broken. And I felt pretty confident with my car, but just gets like tire pressure is getting low, the oil life is getting low, even though I was told I was fine, but I won't get into that. But I mean, you're driving between Susanville and, say, Medford, Oregon, and there's not another car there. Now, I know there's 50 million people, at least, on the West Coast, all around me. There's not one car on the road coming or going. There's trucks. You'll find them at all hours of the night on all the roads everywhere. Lots of trucks. And it would be nice if they could somehow figure out a way to transport things, perhaps in trucks, but not so much that they're taking up so much of the freeways. Might not be a good time to do a diatribe, because the sun. I'll do that. Okay. So I was thinking that, and Benjamin and I are traveling together. He sleeps quite a bit. He can sleep for 2 hours while I'm driving, and the radio stations are not playing because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm alone with my own thoughts, which I'm used to and I can do, but I'm thinking, man, there's nobody out here. And you get into real lonely parts of the road. There's a certain charm to it, but there's a certain adrenaline. I hope everything goes good, because if anything happens, we're in big, deep crap, which we will get out of. I thought about all the other incidents in my life where something went wrong. A flat tire in the middle of nowhere, a car stuck in the snow somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Been there, done that, and you get out of it. You just do what you have to do to get out of it. Now that brings me to the main topic of my subject, is getting out of things and not getting into things, and what you do if your safety net is gone. Now, I've talked about all this for years, so I'm not going to go on and on. Everybody else sees that we are going down the crapper real fast. And I told you when it starts happening, it's going to be fast. It's going to be one day we go to work and the next day everything's shut down. And it could be an EMP, or it could be some sort of an attack, or it could be a pandemic, or it could be social unrest. And I think we're looking at social unrest. Because they can start the government up tomorrow, even though the election is on Tuesday, which is so important to the D's, because if they open up the government, then no one will vote for the commie in New York, or the idiots in Virginia and New Jersey. And so everything is based on Tuesday, because that'll be a harbinger of the D's taking over again in 28 or 26. Okay. They could open up the government on Tuesday evening, and it's not going to change what's come out. It's like a married couple having the worst fight ever, where they both say what's been on their minds for decades. And then it's very hard to take it all back and say, let's go back to normal. People are pissed on every side of the spectrum. The ones that have been welfare queens and welfare moms are bitching because they're not getting the food for their 6 kids. And coming out on TikTok and saying it. Now, we all knew that people were taking advantage of the system, and we all knew that there was a welfare state. And then it paid more for a woman to have 6 kids and be single than it would for her to be married and have 3 kids. So they created that, and everybody knew that people were taking advantage of it, but we just didn't talk about it much because no skin off our nose. We pay our taxes. What they wasted on is their problem. All right, now, suddenly that lifeline is cut off for whether it be 48 hours or 72 hours. And of course, you'll probably get retrograde, so even if you lose your stem or whatever snap, you'll get it all back double later. I mean, we all know the grocery stores would go bankrupt if it weren't for SNAP. It's a government subsidy for food. Because if it's not bought, it goes bad. So you have to have people buy it, have the government give people $2,000 a month to buy food, and that helps. I mean, that sustains our infrastructure of food, which is major. I've already talked about famine. I've talked about all this. It's just now coming to a head now, and now you can see. People are getting on the internet and gloating about how much they used to make until SNAP was cut off, and now they're going to go loot. And then you see people teaching people how to loot, teaching people how to steal, and you say, all you have to do is load up your basket in Walmart and walk out. It's very simple. They won't stop you. No one will stop you. And my wife used to work in retail, and she said they weren't allowed to do anything about shoplifting and to just let them go. So this has been going on for years. But now no SNAP. So that means they're entitled to loot, and they're not only entitled to loot, but they're entitled to steal from customers who have come out with their paid-for groceries. Now the other side has to pipe in, as they should, and say, wait a minute now, we put up with this for a long time because it was no skin off our nose if the government wastes trillions of dollars. We pay it anyway, so give it to them. But now it's like you're rubbing it in our face, and now you're going to loot, now you're going to steal from me. So there's going to be bloodshed. And that's not hyperbole, that is not a metaphor. There's going to be blood. There will be blood is the name of a movie. So it's really bad, but the most heartbreaking thing I saw today, I watch Epic Economist. He's really good to watch if you want information on how bad things really are. But watching Cash and watching this new one, Melinda somebody, she's really nice, good. Kind of a more reasonable Candace Owens. And I watched her, and they had a video of the mother recording her kids running out laughing in Walmart, and she's saying, "What did you get? What did you get?" They were all told to go steal something and bring it back, and they're all holding up their booty proudly and laughing. The last one was about 2.5 years old. She had a banana, and she was proud of herself because she's doing what mommy told her, and she's succeeding. That is a metaphor for the fact that we don't have much time. I'm serious, man. The only reason I go to work now is because I watch The Epic Economist, and people are losing jobs by the hundreds of thousands every day now. AI thing is going to be exponentially bad for everybody. They're working for less, and they're getting laid off, and they're getting fired. So hundreds of thousands of people are looking for jobs. So his bottom line was, if you have a job now, keep it. Even if you don't really like it, keep it, if it's income. So I will keep working. Probably this job I have now will be the last one I have working for someone else, because I don't see it lasting 6 months. Especially if this thing stays closed and the snap actually doesn't come through. Or snap does come back, but it doesn't snap back quite in the way it did before, and Orangey decides it's time to cut out the chaff, and it's time to restrict what you can buy with it. It's time to restrict how much you get, and not reward people for being sluts. Because people are seeing it now. They're seeing through it now because it's being aired on TikTok. And now the crackers and the white supremacists are going, "You come after my groceries and see what happens." And then they will be pilloried and labeled as white supremacists, racists, who want to kill people of color. Only over a bag of groceries. So it's all over the internet. You can find it just by looking at anything. But yeah, this snap thing, even if it comes back tomorrow, the damage is done. And that little girl who's 2.5, who was so proud and happy that she had taken a banana and snuck out of the Walmart. And then we ranged between 7 and 2.5. There was about 5 of them. And they were running through the parking lot with their stuff, just willy-nilly running through Walmart. So they could have gotten hit by a car, and then there'd be more racism and acrimony and resentment. So there is acrimony and there is resentment, and people are seeing it. People are losing their job. We are going to kill each other. 5 billion people will be gone in a year or two. Choose your method. I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying 6 billion people are going to be gone, and it's going to be necessary because there's nothing for them to do. And they all want stuff. So that's the world in a nutshell. I think I did pretty well there. And talk to you later. Maybe. I mean, I only do this just for my own fun, because why should I say what I'm saying? Everybody sees it now. I'm just stating the obvious now. Go back 5 years ago what I was saying, and you can see. But no one will. So, have a good day. And this is Benjamin's last full day on leave. He has to leave tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping we get an EMP so he can stay home, but it probably won't happen today. But hopefully we'll watch a movie and just relax and have a good day. And I really appreciate him. He's helped me out a lot. I wouldn't have been able to make it without his help. So I'm very happy that he has a secure job in the U.S. Armed Services. So, goodbye and laters.